It's on like neck bones. Yeah. We live in the flesh, man. This is gonna be a special show, the Mega Round Table. We're gonna get things going. We're gonna get some more people to come in a few. But in the meantime, in the between time, I got your brother from another mother, no other. Don't look like Danny Glover. Keep it cool for us. Big Game James, man. Shout out, man. Tell them where they can find you at, brother.
Hey, I mean, you can find me at Facebook, Big Game James page, Silver and Blue Nation. That's what we're really repping. You can find us both on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Also, like I said, we've been doing the collab with Dallas Prospects, you as well. So you know what I'm saying? Check us out. We're on every Sunday. We stream live. We're out on at 3:30 now, 3:30 to 5. We stream live every Sunday on Facebook. So make sure you check us out. We're just talking about Cowboys news, the latest and hottest. Call in guests. You know, we just grinding. You know what I mean? Talking Cowboys football.
Yes, indeed. Now, hey, I got another heavyweight champion over here, man. And I'm not just talking of the YouTube, I'm talking about of the world. This guy setting it on fire, man. I'm telling you, left and right. Our brother be taking, singing like, looking at his videos like, man, this brother's on point. He's on there
Right.
like a knife,
Appreciate it.
man, cutting through everything. OJ and everybody up. Hey, go ahead and put him up, put it out there, man. AKOYE, man, tell them about yourself, man. Tell them where they can find you at, and tell them how what you doing out there and all this good stuff, man.
Man, one, I appreciate that welcome, man. That was definitely a nice intro. But as you know, you can find me on YouTube at AKOYE Media. For those of you who don't follow me, you can definitely follow me there. I release all my content there first. Also on Facebook, you'll start seeing things coming from Akoye Media as well. Other bloggers that really throw content out there as well. So you'll see me in a number of places, and I don't mind, man. All publicity is good publicity, so throw it out there. You know what I'm saying? If anybody wants to check me out on Instagram, it's I am, and that's IAM underscore AKOYE as well. You can follow me there, and my Twitter handle is Akoye Media. So any of those avenues you can reach out. I definitely like to go back and forth and debate with any and everybody, man. So I welcome all, not just Cowboys fans too. If you're from the Giants and you want to talk a little trash, I definitely shut you down. So let's do it.
Yes, indeed, man. This is real talk, man. So this ain't no PG-13 session. This is the, hey, we're gonna talk the real. Now, if you in your feelings, you in your emotions, you might as well put those outside. Ain't that right, Big Game?
You already know how we feel about the emotions. You know, we get to talking about people. People start getting all butt hurt about because saying we said something about a player. Hey,
Oh
the
man.
problem is the problem is like I always said before, the Cowboys coddle too many of their players, and that's maybe the reason why we probably don't get over the top. Stop coddling these players and make it what it really is. This is a business. Treat it as that.
Thanks.
Yeah, speaking of businesses,
That's maybe
man.
the reason why we probably don't.
Yes, indeed. So speaking of it, man, tell me about this draft prospects, man. We got 30 that they brought into the house, man. So I want to give you the floor first, Big Game. Tell me
Mhm.
about the thoughts, man, on the 30 visits that they brought in, who we really need to look at. And hey, today we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. We just started off slow, so but we finna lighten this thing up. Go ahead, Voch. I mean not Voch Lombardi. Big Game. Go ahead, tell me what you think, man. Voch
Well,
just hold on. Voch just told me he's on his way. That's why I said Voch.
Well, when you look at the first, I mean, if you look at the 30, I'm a defensive guy. I've always been a defensive guy. I played cornerback even when I played, basketball. I played, guard. But I loved. They always call me the minister of defense because I love defense. So I guess I look forward to the guys on defense because I feel like we still need pieces on the defense. I know our ranking came up a little bit higher from last year. You saw what it could be, could be with that secondary toward the end of the year. But I still feel like we need frontline guys that can make a difference in the on the team. So I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know, Stephen Jones, what he's really going to do. But you have Vita Villa coming in, who everybody's been talking about, but they've been basically dismissing him because they've been saying they don't value the one tech like that. Now all of a sudden you see last week they're saying, oh, we value he's a 3-down player. So now the thought process changing. But are they really going to do it? I don't know. But I think that's something to be looked at because, like I said before, when's the last time Dallas Cowboys drafted a defensive tackle in the first round? I think it was Russell Maryland.
No, Spears, right? Wasn't Marcus Spears?
Was it Spears when he in 95?
Yeah.
I mean, not 95, 05.
Yeah, Spears.
Okay,
Spears was the last first rounder.
Defensive tackle, but I thought he played more for defensive end more than defensive tackle. Marcus Spears did.
3-4 defensive end, which is a pseudo tackle, right? Sort of. So yeah, I think he was 3. That's when we were trying to transition into the 3-4, and we did it all in one draft, and that was that.
Right.
Who draft was that? That Parcells group or that way?
Yeah,
that was Ratliff. We got Ratliff in the 7th round, and then you got DeMarcus Ware, and then you got Spears.
Yeah.
And then I believe he's got Kevin Burnett in the 4th round from Tennessee as well.
We got some talent in that.
That was a very good draft. That was like one of the drafts because then you had Brady James and all those guys. That was the James game. Yeah. That's when our defense was. I mean, Parcells built that defense and then dipped out, but that's what he came there to do, was to build back up that team. And he's a defensive guy, and that's what he attacked first.
He overhauled the whole team.
Fresh out of jail, California, dreaming. This Voch Lombardi, a.k.a. John Wick, a.k.a. Gaston Glock, OG Heartthrob. I have a brand new wife, Demetria Obelar. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Ambar Garcia. Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. Follow me on Twitter. What's up, y'all? What's happening?
Nothing, man, at all, man. Salute to you, man. Thank you for joining in. Hey, we're going to spit the real fire, man. So it's no PG-13. I want to hear the real thunder, man. So take the gloves off. Take the gloves off. Hey, we got somebody else in the mix too as well. I got my guy Joe Rod, man. Tell them where they can find you at, Joe.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Man, you can find me on YouTube at Cowboys Blog and online at Twitter and Instagram, Cowboys Blog Net.
Yes, indeed, man. And hey, is it serious, Joe?
Yeah, it is. It's always serious when we're talking about Cowboys, man. You already know, man.
Yes, indeed, man.
Hey,
yo.
Oh, this
who else?
Real.
Shoot, man, we got somebody else on there.
This is all flame up in here.
Man.
We back. We back.
About to be real.
Oh man, we just get the gloves off now, man.
Oh wow. Is this real?
Right. You should just rename this one Heavy Hitters. That's it.
Heavy Hitters.
This is
Mark Holmes on here.
Hey,
we good.
Can I be Tommy Hearns, man?
Hey, I don't know who I want to be, but man, I want to be. Let me be Hearns because I'm skinny. So let me be Hearns. I'm tall and skinny, so I'm be Hearns.
I'm on the phone. I'm on the call with all legends. God.
I ain't a legend. I'm just trying to soak in. I'm just trying to get in the group.
You don't need both, Jay.
What's up, fellas? How y'all?
Man, spit the game, man. Tell them where they can find you at, Foots.
Hey, man, I'm on Cowboys Nation TV. I'm a fans of everybody on this channel, man. I'm in the DMV. So, man, if you in the DC area, I'm doing music around here, man. Follow me. Shout out to Law. Shout out to everybody doing their thing, man. I'm a fan of everybody on this.
Likewise, bro.
Here, man.
Yes, definitely a fan of everybody. Like I said, I feel blessed to be on the panel with all you guys. I watched all you guys. For real, y'all was the inspiration for me when I came into this. You're just a young pup in this, so I just appreciate everything y'all do. I share y'all videos, watch y'all. Y'all been an inspiration, so hey, thumbs up from me.
Hell yeah, let's get this thing going, man. Hey, this is what I want to do then, since we got everybody on the table. Hey, we had 30 prospects to come in, right? Dallas Day or Dallas top 30, what have you. So I'm gonna go one by one. I think Big Game, he done already went. So we're gonna go with AKOYE. You got about 2 minutes, man. I want to know your thoughts on the 30, and then we're gonna go back and we're gonna talk about the philosophy of the Dallas Cowboys and what they need to do come 16 days from now. So AKOYE, go ahead and give me your thoughts, your thunder, your mind on these 30 visitors that came out there.
AKOYE.
What up? Honestly, man, kind of going off of the feeling the Vita Vea vibe, man. I was actually on that same vibe as you, James. To be honest with you, I think the Cowboys went away from that mindset a little bit too early, because when we have to get to a point where when if Lee, or should I say when? I don't want to say when because I hope he doesn't get hurt. But if Lee goes down, in the future, we have to get out of that mindset that he's the only run eraser that we have on the team. And I think adding a player like a Vita Vea, whether you say he's a 2-down player or not, doesn't matter. You know, the Giants have Snacks Harris, right? He's a guy they only use on 2 downs, but he's like, you know, he's always on Zeke's behind when we play those guys, and they got him just for that type of game, just to play hard nosed, especially late in the year where it's all about the run. So I think adding a player like Vita Vea next to Collins makes it so that running up the gut is an absolute no. And then that frees up guys like Lee and Jalen to not have to deal with guards and tackles on a regular basis. They're free to flow when you have those 2 guys out there. And not only that, Vita Vea is such a black hole in the middle of that field. You know, you got Irvin on the outside. If we can go after a Harold Landry, who I'm starting to see on the Dallas Cowboys website a lot, and big up to you, Voch, man. You actually put everybody on to him, man. You were ahead of your time with that. I just said that before you jumped on the line, man. You're ahead of your time because I just looked on the website today. That's what they're talking about. Is he a good fit for our scheme? And I definitely think he is. So if you have a black hole like a Vita Vea, and then we can swing back and get a Landry in the early 2nd round, 3rd round if he slips that far, man.
Landry ain't going that far.
Oh,
Landry's not going that far. He's going 1st round.
You're right, but well, even with that mindset, we're deep in this draft at defensive tackle. You have a lot of defensive tackles out there, so you're going to be able to pick up, even if you went Harold Landry 1st round and you wanted to swing back and pick up a tackle in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, they're going to be there. So one way or another, I think we need somebody to suck up space, and Vita Vea is the best option. But then you got Payne, you got a lot of guys out there that can definitely come in. Harris from Michigan, I like him too. So I really, I'm not a guy that's like big on any particular player. I like style players. Like when it comes to safeties, I want somebody to smack you in the mouth. So I'm not a guy that's after a Minka Fitzpatrick or a Derwin James. I like Ronnie Harrison, man. And
AKOYE, you got 30 seconds, man. Gut feeling.
Gut feeling. What we gonna do in the 1st round?
Yeah.
Honestly, in the 1st round, I think we're going to either address defensive tackle or defensive line, or our linebacker position. I don't see us going offense that 1st round. If we do, I'd be shocked. Now, if you ask me that in a week, if we actually do cut Dez, which I hope we don't, then that answer might change. But as far as right now with our roster as it stands, I don't see us going offense. I think it would be a mistake to go offense because even with our offensive woes, we still managed to put up 30 points a game with Zeke there. So I don't see us having a gaping hole that forces us to make that move.
Yes, indeed. Hey, before we go another second, man, I want everybody to say hi to Miss Jackie in the house.
Hey, Miss Jackie.
What's up, Miss Jackie?
Miss Jackie.
What's up, Miss Jackie?
I want to hold your hand, Miss Jackie.
Go.
Joe Rob, man, what's up, man? Tell me about your feelings, man, on this 30, man, this draft day 30. Who's your spotlight? You don't have to roll with the 1st round. You can go with anybody that you think that we can pick up. What's your thoughts?
Man, I think they're doing their due diligence, man. They're covering all their bases. I mean, we're looking at, wide receivers. We're looking at some O-line guys, safety guys, mid-round, later round kind of guys. So I like what they're doing, man. I really like what they're doing. If you're going to move Byron Jones, to cornerback, is he going to be your outside guy? You put Jordan Lewis probably at your slot maybe. So you might be a little thin there at safety. So maybe they're going to add somebody like Tavares Moore, Tracy Walker, one of these kinds of guys. Throw Edmonds in the mix. But, I mean, I like 1st round guys. Harold Landry, I think I'm really high on him. I wouldn't mind taking him and getting after it, man. Because I don't know if we're going to be able to afford DeMarcus Lawrence. We don't know what their plan is. So you get him, you're ready to rock and roll, man. Get after these guys. And it never hurts to have enough pass rushers, man. We got to get after Wentz and, knock these guys off their block, man.
Yes, indeed, man. What's your gut feeling, fam?
Gut feeling on who we're taking?
Who we taking? What's the gut?
My gut feeling is they're gonna trade up for somebody and grab a defender. Now, who that is, I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that they're gonna make a move in this one.
No doubt.
But yeah. That's my good. That's my gut feeling, man. That's my gut
Yes,
feeling.
indeed, man. Foots, man. What's your thoughts, man, on this first 30, man?
I'm not touching a receiver in the first round. Period. And number two, my gut on the 30. I like the names they're bringing in. Listen. We got to make sure that our linebackers are clean. Jalen Smith still has injury issues. Well, it's a concern more or less. Obviously, like AKOYE said, Sean Lee gonna get hurt. It's just about when. So you can count on 10 games from Sean Lee. I love Rashaan Evans. He's my favorite player in this draft. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw today that this dude was going to sleep at like 5 years old with his shoulder pads on, I'm like, that's what we need.
We need dogs. We need dogs.
We need dogs. Somebody. And now I'm gonna throw the alley-oop to Voch. Voch, I know you watched the LSU game, and I'm talking about it was a murder scene. The way Rashaan Evans was crushing Geis, the way that he was taking on blocks. So, in the sense that AKOYE wants to get a guy to eat up blocks, I get that, and I wouldn't be mad at Vea, even Deron Payne. I just need a rock in the middle, dog, so Sean can move to the ball, so Jalen can flow to the ball. I'm just so pro Rashaan Evans. Now, I get the coverage aspect of it, but I don't really think he was asked to cover at Alabama. Think about who he had on the back end. Minka, he had Ronnie Harrison, studs at corner, studs at D-line. I think he was asked to go find ball, go crush guard, and a lot of these linebackers that are being pushed up by Mike Mayock, Van Der Esch, me and Joe just did a show, and it was just kind of like, yo, who is Van Der Esch? Like, who did they play? What first-round talent? What draft talent did they play, period?
Man. Hey, man, I feel you, Foot, because I'm so tired of this damn Van Der Esch, man. I'm sitting there like, man, what is going on right now, man? Everybody talking about Van Der Esch, Van Der Esch. Go ahead, Voch, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I'm going to leave it alone, Voch.
I'm going to leave it alone. Go ahead. Talk to us, man. Help us.
I mean, Voch, is he good?
Let me get my gut feeling. Voch. So off the strength of that, y'all, I'm praying that if they stand, I'm a lot with Joe. I think because the draft is going to be in Dallas, Jerry going to move. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of movement in this draft. But if they stand packed, gut, belly, chin, get Rashaan Evans, draft him. I don't care how they got these guys rated. Marry your guy to our scheme. You know what we lost Hitchens. Come on, we lost Wilbur. Marry your guy to this scheme. Rashaan Evans has to be the pick.
Damian Wilson ain't doing nothing. Damian Wilson ain't doing nothing.
Leighton Van Der Esch is a scrub. Rashaan Evans better than him. Jack Sitchy better than him. Darius Leonard better than him. And piggyback off Foots, you know what I'm saying, talking about Rashaan Evans, he can come in and do that Kyle Wilbur type of thing. Like, he's not a cover guy, but on third downs, he can rush for you. So he's probably going to come in day one and be the Sam type of dude. Plus, he nasty. Plus, he a gangster. He don't care nothing about CTE. So I wouldn't mind Rashaan Evans. I wouldn't mind
about CTE.
I wouldn't mind Harold Landry, because don't listen to the peanut gallery, because they're going to tell you things like he's too small, he can't play with his hand in the dirt. Damn it, he did it for 3 years at Boston College. Plus, DeMarcus Lawrence was the same size as Harold Landry coming out. It's called NFL strength and conditioning. He going to get in the weight room. They going to give him a sandwich. He going to be all right. Voch Lombardi, preferably.
Amen.
Y'all know me. Willie Earl Hernandez, and I'm not backing down. You know what I'm saying? You know. Yes,
I don't think we need him, Voch.
Get out of here.
Break it down, bro. Break it down.
I like Cameron Fleming, but I like him a lot more as a swing guy. It is what it is. Willie Earl comes in day one and he fixes things. Well, Voch, what we gonna do about defensive tackle? Damn, we got 7 rounds to figure this out. I'll take a guy like Harrison Phillips.
Hey, Voch.
Wait a minute. I'll take a guy like Harrison Phillips. I'll take a guy like BJ Hill in the second or the third rounds. You fit Willie Earl Hernandez in, and you put that dude between Tyron and Travis Frederick with Zach on the back end, with Lael on the other side, and we be nasty again. Let Zeke be pissed off, man. My bad, James. What's up, bro?
You good. I just wanted to ask you talking about those other D tackles. What about Nathan Shepard?
I love Shepard. I love.
I did a video on them, and this is the third. They about to have 3 visits with this dude, and you know how Dallas is. If they visit with him that many times, all I'm saying, if you can get him in a 3rd or 4th round, because he's not gonna come in and dominate, but you can come in and develop him. You remember when we got Tank Johnson? He got that build and that body. And I think he could be that guy that when we go to that Deacon defense, you can slide him in the middle. If we still got Irvin, that's a defensive tackle. I would really
love to get. We brought in though, Breland Speaks.
All those guys are the same. They're the same type of guys. And look, I like Vita Vea, but if you look at the back end of the draft, defensive tackle wise, I mean, Tim Settle gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Justin Jones gonna be there. It's a lot of guys that we can get at defensive tackle. Now, granted, they can't move like Vita Vea. They can't switch and play 3-tech like Vita Vea. They probably can't pass rush. But if you want somebody just to eat up space to get guys off of Sean and Jalen, it's plenty of guys in this draft that can do it. Give me.
You know what?
We get him in the 4th or 5th round.
We got to also keep in mind, Rod, he likes lesser guys because he thinks he can coach those guys up.
Yeah.
So, just like with Sharif Floyd, he may say, well, give me a lesser guy, i.e. Malik Collins, and we'll coach him up. So I get that, Voch.
Yep. Yeah, hey, before y'all move a little bit further, man, shout out to the Godfather, man. Mark Holmes, he's in the house too as well.
What's up, Mark?
I saw him in the chat box, man, doing his thing.
What's up, big guy?
What up?
Yes, indeed. And Space Cowboy, shout out to you too as well. Hey, AKOYE, man, what's your next thought, man?
As far as the top 30?
No, man, we can talk about anything, man. The show is y'all now, man. We talked about the top 30.
Listen, I keep harping on it, man. And I'm starting to believe it now, though. I'm really thinking the Cowboys might move away from Dez, and it's kind of bittersweet.
Wait, hold on. The king of the Dez Bryant's apologists, man. Hey, you got 1,000 people in my inbox a day that sharing your video to me, and everybody, how you gonna tell me?
Let me tell you something.
Talk to me about this Dez Bryant. Go ahead.
AKOYE got Bammers who don't even be Bammers. That's a DC word. AKOYE, you from Philly, right?
Yeah, but I know about Bammers. My college roommate was from DC.
All right, bet. So you hit.
I know.
So AKOYE, all my men sending me. I'm like, who is this dude doing these cut-ups? These joints fire. But my whole thing is, man, like, yo, I'm with y'all, man. It's starting to look ugly. You starting to see more and more things. And look, is Dez perfect? No. Is Dak perfect? I was on Dak after the Atlanta game. That's when Dak went to hell. For me, he didn't go to hell, but his clock, I kept saying, I don't know if y'all are seeing the same thing. We all film evaluate. We all see things different. But to me, it's like you watching the game. And so what I do, Law, and this is me, and I made a rant video, and it was just because like AKOYE video is going crazy everywhere. So it's like, yo, I was just like, guys, the thing that I take when I'm watching film or when I'm watching the game, it's almost like, what's the score of the game? What's happening with the game? You take it all into account. But I know watching Dak a lot this year, it was one of them things like, Dak, get rid of the ball. Dak, run or throw. You know what I mean? It was clock, and I don't know if it was. Do y'all help me out? Like, what was it? Well,
let me tell you this. I'm gonna direct this to both of you two right here, AKOYE and Foots. I'm gonna ask you guys this question, and let me just say this because I talk a little slower than you guys. So hold on for me, right? Is Dak Prescott a Byron Leftwich, a Dante Culpepper with a weaker arm, or who is your thoughts of Dak Prescott? Because to me, he's far beyond a Dante Culpepper. He's better than a Byron Leftwich, and to me, I would say it, and I ain't scared to say it. He's damn sure better than Donovan McNabb, and I don't care what nobody say out here. And he's way better than Brad Johnson. He's better than a Matt Castle. He's better than who else? Whedon, Brandon Whedon. So where are you putting? Where are you putting Dak Prescott? Who is Dak Prescott to you?
Dak Prescott is a conundrum right now for me, and the reason I say that is because he has a weird trait. Dak Prescott is a winning quarterback, obviously.
There you go. That's all I want to hear. Is he better than Eli?
Hell yeah.
I would say so. They both have the net. Eli done
had nothing but defense.
He got that Eli trait. They don't play great quarterback play all day, but they know how to win a game when it counts. Dak actually has that. So I'm not knocking Dak. When I talk about Dak, I don't talk about him like he's a loser. He's not a quarterback that I don't think we can win with. He's a quarterback that I don't think right now wide receivers are going to look great with. That's the truth. He knows how to extend the drive, because on all the drives where you see Dak missing Dez, on a lot of those drives, Dak will run for a first down and keep the drive going. We might score something on that drive, field goal, or he keeps it going and somebody runs it in, or maybe he runs it in. So it's not like we don't score or we miss scoring opportunities altogether on each one of his misses. It's just that we can get there a lot sooner. He turns. We might not eat up as much clock if he were a lot more accurate, because he turns a drive that could be a 2-play drive into a 10-play drive.
But let me ask you this though. Let me ask you. Go ahead. Take the hand.
Can I just ask this? Well, I mean, we're saying all this and that. I think it's just this. This is just my opinion. Dez is an alpha dog, just like T.O. was. When Romo came into the game, T.O. was dominant, and he kept on staying on Romo. And guess what? That thing had to happen, and T.O. left. I didn't want T.O. to leave. I never was a T.O. fan, but he brought a lot to the team as far as explosion. I think it's a situation where Dez is 29 now. Dak is a young quarterback. They're trying to do this Dak-friendly offense where they don't have to have this number one receiver.
Yo, man.
Listen, I'm just saying what they're thinking. Because Dak ain't that guy who's going to sit there and throw like Romo did. He's not going to be completing all them passes to Dez. And Dez be in Dak's ear.
James.
Come on, man.
All right, let me jump in. Let me tag in. All right, listen. Because I was on this, and I'm not going to say me and Law disagree, but, Law tagged me and AKOYE in because I kind of really started the more or less Dak seeing things different for me. So, do I think that Dak is a bad quarterback? Absolutely not. Like, that's completely disrespectful. I thought he was. Good. Thought that. Nah. Come on, Law. You know I ain't gonna do it like that, Law. The first video that I ever made on YouTube was he was still in the fourth round, and I still believe that. However, I do think that the coaching staff did him no favors. Like, the coaching staff misevaluated this year. What teams did to Dak? And that's a lot on Linehan. Me and Joe talk about it all the time. They move forward. They moved 8 in the box. They press Dez. And these long developing routes, that's not Dak's strength. Dak has to get that Don Coryell from the 1986 Chargers. That's out of here. You know what I mean, Voch? Those bang 8s and all those, that's not Dak's strength. It needs to be ball out, crisp. And what happened was, you had teams who were sitting on a lot of things that Dak did year one that it just didn't work this year. Not to mention Dez, Dak, maybe not on the same page. When Dez gets a ball, the Seattle game, he catches the ball, he's pressing, fumble, or Dez is being doubled and the ball's not thrown the right way. And I will say this, my only problem with Dez and Dak is that Dak still does not learn how to throw a proper fade. And that was Dez's bread and butter. It was a time when Tony Romo, I got to do this. When Tony Romo was playing quarterback, it was a guaranteed touchdown in the red zone, period. Because it's almost like throwing an alley-oop to Dez. And I don't know what they're working on in practice to where it's like you get in the game and Dak throwing air balls or throwing to the stands.
Well, let me ask you this. When you say it's a guaranteed touchdown with Romo to Dez in the end zone, are you talking about 2014, just that 2014, or are you talking about 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013? Because Tony Romo, I mean, come on, when we evaluate Dez Bryant, we look at one particular year and we say 2014, Dez Bryant can walk on water.
I mean, he 2013, he put up 1,300 yards, so he was balling for multiple years.
13, 12.
All right. So 2013. Would you rather have the kid that played for Cincinnati Bengals or Dak Prescott in 2013?
You talking about Andy Dalton?
AJ Green.
Oh, you mean Dez or Dez?
Yeah, Dez.
I love Dez. I'm a Dez stan.
Dez, listen to me, man.
Talk to me, man. Talk to me. Help me out. I'm like a guy that's in the church choir. Help me.
I ain't saying Dez is washed up. I love Dez too, but man. I just don't feel like he's – I'm not saying nothing wrong with Dez. You feel me? I'm just feeling like the Dez connection is not going to work, and that's why they feel like they're going to move him. And it's not because Dez has fell off.
But it's not.
They
It's
don't
not
feel
just.
like that was going to
My
work.
problem is it's not just Dez. That was my biggest issue. When you look at Beasley, Witten, T. Will, and Dez, you mean to tell me that now that Dak is here, all those guys are worthless? That's the way it looks to me.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like to me, it's not Dak. Now, do I like Dak? Yeah. But when we were drafting Dak in 2016, when we drafted him, right? If you would have said, "Hey, I like this guy in the 4th round," I would have said, "Yes, I do." But if you'd have said, "Hey, I like this guy. He about to get Witten, Beasley, T. Will, and Dez off this team. They're going to push them out because of this guy," I'd have said, "Leave his ass where he at." That's really what I'm saying. So that's how I feel about Dak. I don't think Dak's a bad quarterback, but I don't want to trade the proven players that we have on a chance because what I see on tape, can he win? Yes. Can he win without Ezekiel Elliott? I haven't seen that.
And then let me ask the whole panel this. Let me ask the whole panel this, and I see Voch and Joe kind of looking like, I'm gonna tell you right now, you have a 7-9 year, you drafting a quarterback next year, high. So get ready because you have to.
Is that though? Hey, Foots, you don't think Garrett has something to do with that bad coaching though too?
Oh, facts.
Yeah, but we're not talking about Garrett right now though.
But it has something to do with it.
but
you don't have to talk about Garrett because it got something to do with it. If you see his year, well, he's still coaching him. He's still coaching him.
So let me ask y'all this. And I'm gonna leave Dak Prescott alone.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that everybody get a longer rope? I do know that Tony Romo had a long ass rope, and we wasn't talking about, hey, let's draft a quarterback. And what about this guy right here, Andrew Luck? Is he not considered a bust right now? Don't you know that Dak Prescott in his first 2 years or what have you, completed percentages is a whole lot better than Andrew Luck and that little. I'm just saying.
Andrew Luck is amazing. Stop.
He was hurt.
He was hurt. How long he get a chance to be hurt? How long he get a chance to be hurt?
Stop it.
Because he's a franchise, he get a long time. You get 5-6 years.
Man, look.
Y'all go ahead, Voch. Go ahead, man.
I'm going to say this, we can move on, man. 4 out of 6 Cowboys fans are idiots and emotional, so I'm just counting y'all down for playing. But
there you go.
What happens is
it's like beating up Cowboy fans, man.
The peanut gallery feeds us these narratives that, oh my God, Dak Prescott and Tom Brady need to be in the same breath. When the 2 of the 6, the rest of us, the logical Cowboys fans, are like, yo, this dude's a freshman, this dude's a sophomore. Let him grow up a little bit.
Right.
So look, no matter what quarterback we look at, you can look at Brady, Roethlisberger, whatever. When they rookies, they team carried them. They had to grow into that. Roethlisberger won Super Bowls with a stud team around him. The same with Brady. The same is somebody else I'm thinking about too. But they need teams around them to grow. Maybe Dak just need 21 and 77 and 50 to be on point. Then Dak can evolve. Russell Wilson, that's who I'm thinking of too. Maybe Dak need these guys around him. You know what I'm saying? Can he get out of his first contract before we can talk about what he can and cannot do by himself? Because historically, nobody does it by himself. Those guys get figured out and kick the hell out the league.
So I'll ask you the same question then, Voch. Now, we keep talking about Dak and the receivers as if they're 2 unique situations. Do you think, like when we say like let Dak get out of his first contract, I agree with you.
Right.
But do you agree with moving our current receiving core to allow him that room?
I'm pro Dez Bryant. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend like getting rid of Dez or Terrence is the answer. I like depth. You know what I mean? So I would keep what we got and still bring in more and let those guys compete.
And that's how I feel.
And just run it like that. Because when you get rid of Dez, damn it, you got to replace Dez now. You know what I mean?
What? Right.
You know what I mean? So when normally we can walk in the draft thinking, man, we can get Dante Pettis in the 3rd round. But if we get rid of Dez now,
you got to draft one early.
We might have to spend that 1st round that we were going to spend on Hernandez or Vita Vea or Derwin James. We got to spend that on a receiver now.
Exactly right.
Was
and you
you?
pressing, and
And
then
now
you
the
do
thing
that.
is, and I'm not trying to say that I want to get rid of Desmond Bryant. I'm not saying that. No, that's not the case, nor the scenario. But the writing will be on the wall if he don't show up for this voluntary camp. What is it, Monday?
So is this a
It's
Stephen Jones
voluntary.
thing?
It's
So is
voluntary.
this a Stephen Jones thing? Is
Yeah,
this
if
a
he don't
Stephen
show
Jones
up
thing
there,
again?
man.
You might be right.
Is this a
hey,
Stephen Jones thing again?
it may be a Stephen Jones. Hey, was anybody in this chat box or anybody in this panel, was they pro letting T.O. go?
Nah.
No.
He was young.
No
He was
way.
young.
Because I could only imagine T.O. and Des Bryant on the same team.
Hey, y'all want to hear something funny?
Talk to me, man.
Eric Flowers didn't show up for Giants training camp. Let me tell you why. Y'all want to
He
know
still
why?
got a job?
Wait a minute. Y'all want to know why? Because he want to get paid.
Hey, but real quick, back to Voch's point. I think that Dallas, especially, this is really why you can't get rid of. Why you can't get. Damn, somebody.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hey,
Sip it.
Hey man, you all right?
Sip it.
hey, man, we gonna hey Koye, we gonna keep Dez, man. We gonna keep him, man.
Talking about light fell off the table, man.
What's that light in your face?
Hey, look.
You sound like
I think,
I
listen, since we're really locked in draft season, it wouldn't be smart because again, Laquan Treadwell, Corey Coleman. I mean, I could really run off like 5 guys that have been drafted high and just been complete duds. Even think about what's my man from Tennessee last year who got drafted by Tennessee. Everybody, he the next Dez. That's what they say. Justin Blackman, he the next Dez. You gonna hear that about all during the draft. Why we want to get rid of a guy who Mel Kiper and Tom McShay gonna say he has a lot of Dez Bryant traits, but we want to get rid of him.
Let me ask you that question, because I know you're talking about this, but hold on, let me tell you this.
Corey Davis.
That's just the lazy, and Voch will let you know too as well. That's just the lazy analysis, because they did the same thing with T.O. Who was baby T.O.? Y'all remember Brandon Marshall? Y'all remember the other guy, the big kid that played number 81, played for the 49ers, and played for the Cardinals. He was the baby T.O. No. Yeah. So that's just the lazy analyst. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But my point is, if you go into a draft handicap, Dallas likes to draft with an open board. Basically, they can go and draft BPA, best player available. You go into a draft without Dez Bryant, or it's rumors getting out that you're not going to keep Dez.
We're going to wind up losing 3 picks on wide receivers if they do that.
Exactly. Yeah, because you got to find a one. And I love Calvin Ridley, but he's $180 in this division. Come on, man. Josh Norman, he won't be able to get off the line against Josh Norman. I don't think Josh Norman a good corner, but my point is, try getting off press man. It's different. It's different in the league. Year one receiver is a hard position to play. It's no Odell Beckham's falling off trees. You feel what I'm saying? He got spoiled by that draft class.
I will give Ridley his props because I actually went to that combine. I got to see him up close. He is very small. He's very small. But I will give him props. He threw up 225 on that bench press, so I will give him that. And watching him, I'm not saying draft him in the first round. I want to stay away from receiver at all costs. But watching him in those drills, he is one of the nicest, smoothest receivers out there. He is really good in and out his breaks. Now, what you're talking about with that press coverage, I think he is going to have a problem with that because he's wiry. He doesn't have any kind of weight to him. He's just like kind of wiry thin. But he has that probably like that A.J. Green, probably wiry strength. But like you said, that press coverage may be a problem for him. I just don't want to stay away from receiver at all costs, just like y'all saying, in that first round.
Go ahead, Voch.
So if I can tie in 30 visits plus this, wide receiver Dez talk, if we keep Dez, we can do things like be ambitious at wide receiver. Like, one of our 30 visits, we got a guy named Antonio Callaway, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot off the field stuff. Go ahead.
Florida.
A lot off the field.
He is an outstanding receiver. The problem is he may have kidnapped somebody, and he may have cussed some chick out real loud at Walmart, and he may be gun under the seat guy, and he may have gone to jail for credit card fraud. But but he has a new child. But he has a new child now, and he says he's turned his life around. Well, Cowboys are going to bring him in for the 30 visits. We're going to question him. We're going to talk about and we're going to see where his head at. If we don't have Dez Bryant, we can't take chances on guys like that. No. You know what I mean? Because we would have to have more of a sure thing at receiver. But we good at receiver.
This Dez Bryant conversation, what it's done is, think about it. Right now, none of us would say our needs are on offense.
Right.
None of us, except for
unless it's Will
Hernandez and go offensive guard. We don't. Our needs are not on offense, but we wind up having to talk offense because this Dez question looms out there. When really this should be a defensive laden draft. Period.
Yeah. Period.
But they talking Vander Esch.
Vander Esch is like a
rub
because they got that fascination with them Boise State players.
That's a great point, James.
He's tight in the hips. I was watching him and his shuttle drills and all that. He's like slow to change direction.
It's not even that he's just tight in the hips. If you watch him in his games, he gets swallowed up and he takes bad angles. And if you look at his size, he's almost 6'5". He's almost 260 pounds, and he doesn't play to that size. That's my problem with him. When we saw him, we had Rolando McClain. He played to that size. That's what we loved about Rolando McClain, because he was big and he was strong and he played to that size. You got Vander Esch who doesn't play like that at all.
I like Joe Thomas to start over him, and Joe Thomas is a backup. And I would like Joe Thomas to start over that guy. So I wouldn't want a Vander Esch at all. Evans, give me Evans or Raekwon Smith if we can get him in the first round. If not, you got other guys out there like Leonard.
Jermaine Edmonds.
Third.
One of these Leighton Vander Esch fans tried to make logic and tried to tell me that, Leighton Vander Esch ducks his head and throws his shoulder into people and drops his hands to take on blocks. Yeah, that's a good idea because that's what they coach him. No football coach in America teaches linebackers how to keep their hands down, drop their head unbalanced, and throw their shoulders into people.
Not at all.
Use your hands and you disconnect. Let me say something real fast. Joe, you got something? Because you've been quiet over there for a minute. Joe, what you got, man?
Joe smoking a peace pipe.
Man. I wish, but nah. Nah, man. I just feel that, man, this whole thing about Dak and everything, it's winning cures all, man. And if we had a more winning season, a lot of this discussion wouldn't be happening. But it is what it is, and it kind of, it exposes what we need to look at. And our receivers are old, so I think at some point you do got to add somebody at some point, but not the first round. I'm definitely not on board with that. But it is what it is, man. They're gonna have to address it at some point.
So let me say this: Dwayne Porter in the chat box dropped $10 in the super chat. Salute to you. He says, "Great convo, fellas. Ask yourselves this: if Sean Payton was the head coach / offense coordinator, do you think Dak would be even better?"
Ooh, I would love Sean Payton.
Yeah, Sean Payton.
I wouldn't say Sean Payton would be the one though.
Why not?
You would need a quarterback coach or a coach that's more so suited for a mobile quarterback. I don't align. Like Sean Payton's
but Dak don't really run like that. Dak don't really run like that.
Oh, fuss.
Yeah, but Dak's strengths are with run-centric plays, whether it's play action or RPO. That's when Dak looks like something. Like when I'm watching him on film, Dak don't mess up the RPO. Like when he play RPO, whether he keeping the ball, he handing that ball off, or he throwing it, because he get to his second progression a lot easier in the RPO. So I would say you would need a coach that's more suited for an RPO type of style, like either Pete Carroll or anyone's worked with.
You have to go college, right? You have to go and reach out to the
right. You have to have a guy who is
Clemson
suited
coach
for RPO, because I think that's what Dak runs best. And if you're going to keep Dak, if you want to make Dak play at his optimum level right now, you run him in the RPO. If you want to maximize his potential, then you have to take the growing pains and just say, all right, he's going to be a scrub for right now. Not a scrub, but he's not going to be able to read as well. He's reading half to feel like he's supposed to be as a rookie or a sophomore right now, and that's because he's coming from under center. He's trying to break down all these different facets of the game all at once. But so it's a win now with RPO, or have him develop the long way like he's supposed to. He would have been doing this on the bench though. That's what he was supposed to be doing. He's not supposed to be playing right now. He's supposed to be learning these things in practice. You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, Law, you need to put me, Joe, and Foots on the thingamajigger so they can see my face too.
What you talking about?
I'm Hollywood. I don't see my face on the screen.
Oh man, you talk. When you talk, they see you, man.
I see you.
I'm Hollywood. I don't see my face on the screen.
Yeah, I guess it's not enough bars down there. But at the end of the day, man, they see your face. Hey, in the chat box, Jackie, do you see Voch Lombardi and my guy Joe's face?
Jackie, better I see my face. What's the next time before we get distracted?
Oh man, shoot. Big game, man. Pick out the next topic, man. We freestyling over here, man. Shit.
Straight freestyle. Okay, I got a little freestyle. I want to see what all you guys' thoughts on Jordan Lewis. That's one of my favorite players on the team. But I don't want him to play the slot position. He's not a slot corner to me. I feel like he's an outside corner, and I feel like they keep on trying to push him over to that slot corner position because of his size. That's not what he was good at when he played at Michigan. Even when he played when he played in the league, he was getting exposed when he went to the slot. When they kept him on the outside, he's a sticky outside corner. That's his specialty. I'm just asking y'all, do y'all think they should move him because they're talking about moving Byron Jones? I think Byron Jones should play in the slot if they do it like the Giants. Listen, because how they did Dominique's Roger Cromartie, they put him in the slot and they kept Jack Rabbit on the outside.
Please let me take this question.
I'm just saying. We all agree because we did this last show, so it really ain't gonna be no argument. We good there.
I think you keep Jones and Lewis on the outside. The reason being, your most versatile corner right now is Cheeto. Cheeto closer to the ball is hands down like a game changer. He can blitz. It's like having Frazier in the box when you have Cheeto in the slot. Okay, because if he's blitzing, he's a great blitzer. You don't know what he's doing. If you run the ball against the nickel and Cheeto is in the slot, you have a strong safety down. It's like having an extra linebacker out there that can slash through.
Hey, I'm back, y'all. My bad.
And then beyond that, he can cover. And he can cover those shifty guys. So having Cheeto in the slot, I think, gives us our most versatile package out there because he can blitz, he can stop the run, he can cover, and he's our best zone overall coverage. He's our best coverage corner on the team because he can play zone better than anybody on our team. And he can play man well enough to make him formidable. Jones is just a straight, give me my assignment. My assignment's the big wide receiver. Give me my assignment. That's all I need to know because Jones he's not a guy that just makes plays in space. You give him a guy, he sticks to him. Lewis is a guy that can take away your smaller scat receivers. You can take away your little quick Shepherds, your Randall, so on. That's why they think he's a slot guy. But I think you leave Lewis in the nickel package, you leave him on the outside. Big guys can't run by him and they can't muscle him up because he's bigger than he looks. He plays bigger than he looks. So I think you put Cheeto in the slot and you have a crazy package with Cheeto in the slot, man. And
you just spelled out that, damn, Jones not even starting then.
No, Jones would be our number one corner on the outside. And then Lewis would be our second. Cheeto in your base package, I would push Cheeto up to safety in the base package. So that allows us to not even have to come out of our base if we ever go. If we're in 4-3, you have your 3 linebackers on the field. You have Cheeto come down. If they put 3 wide receivers out there, you don't have to come out of your base. Have Cheeto man up on a slot, and then you play single high safety with Heath or whoever's out there at that free safety position.
So that's why we need to draft a safety. Because are you trying to go into 2018 with Heath out there or Frazier?
I like them both.
I want Jeff Heath in Baltimore somewhere, or in Atlanta, or playing for the Chargers or something.
Right.
Now, that's this loyalty at its finest right there, but
listen, Heath make plays, but it's too many times that I see Heath. Like, I'm just like, what the hell kind of angle was that?
He takes the most horrible angles ever. He was like
that Rams game. That Rams game. I was like,
when he broke his knee.
Yeah, bro. I was like,
they scouted him on that play.
He broke that knee.
Play Same play Anderson ran against him in Denver. Denver did that to him.
And he almost broke his knee in that one, coming all crazy.
I remember that play now.
You be coming all crazy, man.
Yeah, he did that against Denver.
But he does take those he's a riverboat gambler.
Listen, man, I like Jeff Heath only in the last 30 seconds of the game. That's it. That boy,
he's the most clutch defender that we got on the team right now.
Facts, but he's terrible first through third quarter.
And I know there's a lot of love for Kayvon Frazier, but I kind of just always see him as a backup and just like
He's
a spot
special teams guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a special teams guy.
Nah, man.
As a starter, AKOYE?
If you like,
he is not a starter in the NFL.
Listen, if you like Cam Chancellor, how can you like Cam Chancellor and not like
Look, hold on. I like cover 3 Cam Chancellor.
Yeah,
I don't know about cover 2 Cam Chancellor.
Cam Chancellor, is he a Pro Bowler?
He is. I get it.
Did he win a Super Bowl?
Let me ask y'all this.
My thing is, we need a dog.
In the Super Bowl.
Let me ask y'all this, Cowboys fans.
So that's my case.
Let me ask y'all this, Cowboys fans. Y'all remember we had Roy Williams at safety and he was knocking people out. Then they found out Roy Williams can't cover and we ain't want Roy Williams no more.
That ain't true. That ain't true.
What happened to Roy? Break it down to me. AKOYE, tell him what happened to Roy, man.
They always knew Roy couldn't cover.
Give it to me. Roy Williams versus the difference between him and a Palomalu, a Ed Reed, a Brian Dawkins during that era. Hold on, listen. Is the fact that Brian Dawkins had Jim Johnson. Ed Reed was the best safety in that era. Then you have
Sean Taylor. Just throw in Sean Taylor just for the
Sean Taylor would have been, but he left before his time. Sean Taylor was a freak. He could play any style safety, single high, box, whatever you want him to do, he could do it. But the reason Roy Williams started to look like he couldn't cover is because you put him in positions he shouldn't have been in. Roy Williams is not a space safety. He's not a safety that you play 20 yards off the ball. You play him 5 yards, 10 to 15 yards. That's it. And let him roam in the middle of the field. When you start asking a guy who doesn't do that to play in space, of course he's going to look like he shouldn't be out there singled up on a Jeremy Shockey. He never should have been. So to say he couldn't cover, he could cover what he was supposed to in the position he was supposed to be in. He's not supposed to be out there playing corner. That's why he's not a corner.
Translation.
They didn't do that to Troy Polamalu. What Dick LeBeau did with Polamalu was they played defense as if there's only 10 players out there. He said this himself, as if there are only 10 players on the defense. And they allowed Troy to roam the middle, the field, and make decisions based off of what he sees instinctually. And that's what Zimmer allowed Roy to do initially. But when Zimmer left and they started bringing in coordinators that wanted a true cover safety or like 2 free safety packages that were really like Ed Reed, hybrid safeties that could play corner as well, Roy's not that guy. So
go ahead, because I'm going to chime in this.
Let me just real quick, Law, and kind of piggyback. Okay, so I do like what AKOYE is saying for this reason, and I'll admit, I'll raise my hand. In the case study of Landon Collins, year 1, Jason Witten was eating Landon Collins up.
You learn.
Second round pick, and you would have thought year 1 we got the steal with Byron Jones, and we passed on Landon. But I will give who's the coordinator Steve Spagnuolo. I will give him credit for how he used Landon, how he moved him around in that scheme. Year 2, Landon Collins could have been a defensive player of the year. Year 2 and now 3, obviously. What year was last year? It was last year. So that would have been his 3rd year. Landon Collins was all over the field, and it was because of how they schemed him. They let him come closer to the box. He was making plays. So I do understand, like, what we have to realize as Cowboys fans, teams, coaches, everybody, you have to marry the player you're going to draft to the scheme and make sure it works and make sure it fits. Because, again, I think we kind of got duped when it came to Byron Jones, and Joe has been on top of this. We fell in love with his combine, and we fell in love with the athlete that Byron Jones was. Watching his tape coming out of UConn, you really never saw a great football player. If we just being honest, you never really saw a guy
you didn't see no good free safety.
Yeah, I would say he wasn't a free safety.
I didn't see a player. To me, I didn't see a player like you always knew Landon Collins was a football player. You just had to. I didn't see a player in Byron Jones who was just a great football. And then again, it goes back to what I was talking about with Joe earlier about competition level. UConn, Alabama, it's levels. We just got to be honest. You can hit on a small school guy, X Woods, every once in a while, but I mean, UConn, Atlantic, and listen.
So you think Byron's not our best cover corner right now?
He's no good at anything, man.
No, dude.
Oh, man. That Byron Jones. I just saw when they moved Byron Jones to the inside. I saw Byron Jones shut down Randall Cobb. I just saw Byron Jones shut down some tight ends.
Let Joe talk. Joe said something. Let Joe talk. What he say?
Joe, say something.
Man, I am not a Byron Jones fan. He's too finesse.
Talk to him, Joe. Talk to him.
He's too finesse, man. They haven't picked up the 5th-year option. They don't have enough play. He's too finesse, man. He doesn't want to make a hit.
Get him, Joe.
Do this for me.
Get him, Joe.
Watch the Raiders game.
He ain't going to be here.
From last year, right? And watch how Crabtree was muscling up Cheeto. Now, Cheeto did get with him between the 20s, but in the red zone, Crabtree beat his ass. Watch Byron Jones against bigger receivers. Any big receiver. Byron Jones. You know why you don't see Byron Jones against
AKOYE?
Because those receivers don't get the damn ball when Byron Jones is covering them. That's why.
Come on,
Preach.
Nah, man. Byron Jones ain't good. Hey, he can't even cover it.
That's what I do.
Man, wearing Byron Jones out. He was wearing Byron Jones out. Byron Jones got worn out a couple times.
Get him.
He said who?
Jordan Reed wore him out.
He said who?
Jordan Reed?
I'm gonna go watch it.
Oh, okay.
No, he did. No, Jordan Reed did. Yeah.
Jordan Reed wear out everybody. Though.
Whatever.
No, because he's gonna be healthy, James.
The only one I ever seen do anything is Byron Jones. But he do it to everybody, so that don't count.
All right, fact.
Listen, the only reason why, like Foots was saying, everybody got enamored. It was like Dallas because everybody was talking every year about Dallas needed safety. Dallas needed safety. Dallas needed safety. So they went and said, okay, we had this dude who did a freaking nature at the combine, so we're going to transition because 2 years he played corner at UConn, 2 years he played safety. So he's versatile. We can use him. Let's play him at corner the first year, and then let's move him to safety. But at no time at UConn did you see a ball hawk. At no time did you ever see him. Did you see any of that? So I don't even know where they even got excited about seeing that because he showed no traits of it. And if you don't do it in college, you don't all of a sudden go to the NFL and just start getting all kind of interceptions if you weren't doing nothing like that in college.
What's that?
When you broke down Obi Melifonwu, what did you see on tape? Be honest.
He was a scrub on tape with no mental processing.
What did he do? What did he do with the combine?
He ran. He jumped.
In Oakland, and Oakland took the bait, just like Dallas, a very similar franchise. And what is Obi Melifonwu doing in the league? Absolutely nothing. And they trying to draft another safety this year. So
but Obi Melifonwu can't dunk on Byron Jones. Ain't that what matters?
All right. Hey. I can do this right now for AKOYE. You can do the film right now. I guarantee you're gonna have probably 100,000 views on this. The tale of two tapes. Byron Jones up playing up tight close, and Byron Jones playing out in space. Watch, just watch the film, and you'll see when Byron Jones lined up and he's in the opposition face. They ain't getting nowhere. That brother, he got some. I'm telling you, man, he's strange. He's strange. The only person who can stop Byron Jones when he lined up out there is Rob Marinelli.
Man, Byron Jones is the senator. Hey, I was at that Atlanta game, I was over there. I was sitting right next. He came over to the after the game. We were able to go near them, so he was down there. I was standing over by him, and they just got blown out by Atlanta. I ain't hating. I'm not saying this anything, but they got just blown out by Atlanta. And he was just talking like they just won. And I was just like, man, I don't know, is this guy like a senator or is he like a football player? Because he just seemed like he's more a politician guy than really a football player. You went to UConn, so I know you smart. So you just more of a smart guy that's an athlete, and they drafted you like that. But really, you're going to be a senator in about 3 more years.
That's right.
Byron Jones flew around and go to the Patriots. Everybody be crying.
Time to impeach that dude, man.
In man coverage. That's all. That's all about feelings. I ain't here to hear your feelings.
That's real. Ain't nobody else gonna sign him to no big contract.
Yeah.
Hey, the Patriots pick him up. We gonna be like, oh man, we.
No, they're not.
Playing safety was all a financial play by you gotta remember, I think it was just a financial play. He was behind Mo Claiborne, Scandrick, and Carr when he came in. He wasn't going to start at corner regardless at that time. So I think him moving to safety was partially because of the corners we had at the time and what we wanted out of them. And then also now the reason they're moving him back is because they know that was his original. They know that's his best position. He was playing out of position because that's where they had to put him at that time. And also you get him cheap now. If you re-sign Byron Jones, and he is what I think he is, you get a shutdown cover corner at a fraction of the price. Because
hey man, let me say this. Hey man, Byron Jones has been a projection since we drafted him. It's a wasted project.
Talk to him, Joe.
Get out of here,
man. Y'all crazy.
Talk to him.
Hey, go ahead.
I want Jordan Lewis outside. I want to keep Jordan Lewis out here. I want to keep Cheeto here. Chris Richard loves these guys. Those are his kinds of guys. Byron Jones, dude, he's gonna find out real quick. This guy, man. Let's trade this guy.
From the CFL and made him something. Those his kind of guys. He like guys that people like you don't like.
I would like.
Look at Sherman. Sherman was a wide receiver in college too. He ain't like Sherman. Nobody likes Sherman. They didn't like him as a corner. They know he was to play corner or safety, but Sherman wound up being a shutdown corner under Richard.
He was a 5th round guy. Hey, question. Hey, real quick, y'all. We got Sushi 817.
That's the homie. That's the homie. Salute.
He wanted a shout out. He said, "Can we shout out his son, Junior?"
What up, Junior?
What's up, Junior?
What's up,
Junior? Shout out to
Junior.
Hey, you know what though? I'm wrong because I didn't know that the conversation was actually moving Byron the corner. Because I got to backpedal a little bit. I actually wouldn't be mad at that. Seeing how it's gonna happen. And seeing if, like I said, Chris Richard in that cover 3, that may be something. That safety, no.
No. I agree with you there. Safety trash.
Yeah, okay, all right, best. So that's on me. That's my waffle right there because I got disconnected. But Law, if you want him at press corner, cover 3 things, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you or AKOYE there. Now, Joe, whenever me and Joe talk, Joe done with Byron. He ain't coming off that shit. He's done. My man, he ain't gonna waffle. That's the facts.
That's what it is.
So let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this. First, I think you said it, and I felt like I believed it too. Since it's going to be in Dallas, I feel like it's going to be some kind of trading because Jerry Jones ain't just going to have the draft in Dallas and I feel just draft the 19th pick and just be something basic and regular. I just feel like that's just not going to happen. So if we were to really trade up, which would the players that would y'all trade up for?
Derwin James, 1,000.
I think me and Voch are probably on the same wavelength on that one.
Let me say this. If I can get Hernandez at 19, I wouldn't mind trading up to like 33 or something to go get somebody in the 35s or something.
I'm not mad at that. All right, now let me say this because y'all know I'm a draft nut, man. I be watching NFL Network till like 4 a.m. All these trades and hey, so look. So here's what I think is gonna happen. You gotta watch Tampa. If Derwin gets to 10 for some reason, Jerry gonna go.
What is with the love with Derwin James?
What? Are you crazy?
Get him, Foots. Get him.
Don't need him.
Okay.
He don't need him. Not in the first round.
Go ahead. Let me ask you.
Jump up.
Go ahead.
To jump up in the first round to make those types of moves for a safety would be you would do that only if you have a glaring hole at safety, which we don't. So to lose anything, to jump forward and get Derwin.
So we don't need a safety.
If you're gonna do that,
safety, Koye,
like Jeff Heath and Kevon,
we don't need a safety, Koye.
Those guys.
I ain't saying we need a safety. Do we need one enough to give up anything?
Yes, we got 10 picks.
We got 10 picks.
And we still don't know if we're gonna keep David Irvin.
Ronnie Harris.
If they get rid of David Irvin, that's a 2nd round pick.
Right? No, Ronnie Harrison's still there at 19, bro.
But I'm saying though, we might still not have David Irvin. What if they get rid of David Irvin? We got another 2nd round pick.
Okay, so Derwin James comes in, right?
Right.
And they got Chris Richard as his coach.
And we lose what for? What you gonna give up to jump forward?
All right, here we go.
You got the plethora of picks to do.
Second round next year. No.
Me. All right, here we go. Law, I'm tagging in.
Get him.
So
Get him.
if you have your board set, and I don't know if you guys do one on your spare time where you have certain players rated a certain way, right? And it's just levels of this guy is an elite guy, period. To me, Derwin James is better than anything that we have on our roster, period. You can't coach 6'3", Okoye. You can't coach 6'3" and can move how he moves. You can't coach size. You can't coach a guy. Listen.
We need a linebacker, bro.
Hold on. No.
He can play linebacker.
Okoye, wait. Let me finish. No, Okoye.
Derwin James play linebacker.
Listen, I've been on the table for this guy. He can come down. He can play in a slot. I've watched film of him guarding receivers way quicker, way smaller as far as weight-wise, because he's a solid 215, 220. Okay, you talking about a guy who will come down and thump you? You talking about Derwin James. Is he as good as Jalen Ramsey? No. He's 1A to Jalen Ramsey, though. And you see Jalen Ramsey flat out take players out the game. Yes, he is, Okoye. You all right? So all right, to me, we have.
Don't get me wrong. Derwin James.
It's two tight ends in Philly, Selleck and Ertz.
Right.
How we gonna deal with them, Okoye?
We already got a dude who deal with them.
Tell him, Okoye.
Jones.
Byron
Hold on.
Look at Law.
Byron Jones would get demolished by Ertz, Okoye.
What?
No, he would, bruh.
He would. Does he?
I don't even know how we deal with that matchup. Well, the last game.
Watch it.
The last game, but Okoye, the last game was a wash, and the Cowboys game, that was Dak and that whole game. But listen, all I'm saying is
I want to see some
matchups now.
Hurts eating up Byron Jones. What I want to see.
Can I ask you a question, Okoye? Would you give up a guy who may not be something and get a 1 and give you? So you giving up your 1, you're giving up your 1 and 19, and you're giving up a third to go up to 10 to get Derwin. Y'all wouldn't do that?
No.
Hell yeah, let's go get Derwin, fam.
I would do it for Evans. I would do it for Raekwon Smith. Yeah.
You would do it for Evans? Rashawn Evans?
I would do it for Evans.
Move up for Rashawn Evans?
Alabama Evans?
Hell no.
Alabama
Hell to the no. Hell to the no.
Evans gonna fall in your lap at 19.
Yeah, you ain't going up to get that dude. Hell no.
What the hell going on here?
I would never do
Evans. Hey, Tremaine Edmonds, you move up, but not no damn Rashawn Evans.
I wouldn't move up for Tremaine. I don't think we need linebackers.
You don't like? I'm just saying, you don't like Tremaine Evans, Bosh?
I love him, but I ain't trading up for him. I don't think we need I think we need depth at linebacker. I don't think we need linebackers. Let me say this about Derwin, though. He can play a lot of spots. But what I like about him the most, though, he'll probably lead our damn defense in tackles or second behind Sean. But what I like about him the most, he's nasty. And everybody talking about we need leaders. Everybody talking about we need leaders. That's an alpha right there. That man will hit you and get up and dance in your face. Damn, Sean Lee will tackle you. He'll celebrate with Sean like he made the damn tackle. That'll boost the morale of your defense. Next thing you know, you playing way faster than you normally were. Florida State wasn't great on defense this year, but they played better after he would do things to set the tone. I just dropped a film session on Derwin James today. If you go back to this 2016,
I can't wait to watch that.
If you go to his 2016 game versus Ole Miss, watch him versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss threw a ball through a bubble to the receiver, right? But the receiver kind of fell down, and it's college, so when you down. Derwin James hit him anyway, and the sideline went crazy, and he got up and celebrated. They threw the flag, but that set the tone for the rest of the day. I like stuff like that. I almost cussed, but I don't want Law to get demonetized. I like stuff like that. Hell yeah, I would go get Derwin James. Now you have got to sell me on what we gonna do about offensive line, because I put all my eggs in this Hernandez basket. But if we can find a way to get Derwin James, I'm cool with that.
I mean, I like you dropped the mic on that one.
Drop the mic.
Derwin James, he's a top 5 player in this draft. That's a fact.
I mean, obviously that's a fact. We know that's a fact. He's gonna go top 5. But would I jump to the top 5 to get him? No.
Well, no, but Okoye, what's going to happen is the quarterbacks are going to push everybody back. So these quarterbacks are going to get overdrafted. You're going to have 5 quarterbacks go the first 6 picks maybe, and somebody may even trade in the Colts may move again because Buffalo got so many picks. You looking at New England now, you hearing whispers that they like Lamar Jackson. They may try to get in front of Arizona. So to me, if you got listen, we talking about a free. What if Minka falls? What would y'all do with Minka? Let me ask y'all that.
Oh, buddy, Voch said that last
I
week.
don't like them because we need an enforcer. We need an enforcer.
I like
that dude.
I don't like Minka. I like Derrick James.
We need an enforcer.
I will take both. And let me tell you why. Because Minka can play free safety, and it's rare that you have free safeties that have range, quality range free safeties.
But he's like Cheeto.
He is a free though, Voch. Ain't he?
Outside.
Ain't he more of a free? We need a strong. We need a versatile strong.
What is Minka? What is his measurement?
Isn't he a free?
Minka
6 foot.
can play free, strong, and nickel corner, and outside.
Do you think? I'm saying, but do you think he's that strong type, that strong safety lad? Because he seems like he's just not big enough.
Minka is.
Yeah. What is Minka measurables, man? Somebody
I know he was 6 foot. Is he 200?
Minka's a big boy.
Yeah, he's like 210.
Is he 210?
Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka a big ass. that boy Jalen Ramsey size almost.
Because I thought Xavier Woods was big, and I said, man, this brother.
Nah, Xavier's small. Man, you see them skinny legs? He little. He
Actually,
came in like 195.
And somebody saying Woods gonna play strong safety. I was looking at that brother. I said,
the thing is, Law, X Woods is a really good finisher, so I see why they would think that. But down there in that trash, it get weird.
That's where he plays well, though.
I know. No, he is a good finisher. Nah, you right about that.
But he's a free though, and they're throwing him in the slot.
I like him in the trash. Woods is
somebody said strong. I saw Woods against the rum get blown up a couple times.
I mean, he'll stick his face in there. He's just too little.
Hey, he tried. He had the heart.
He'll stick his face in there, but he's just too little.
Yeah,
man, Woods is the same size Brian Dawkins was when he came in the league. Man, Brian
Dawkins.
Brian had muscles coming out of his.
Come on, man. Stop it. You see Brian Dawkins? Brian Dawkins' arm is big as Woods.
When he came in the league, Brian Dawkins was 5'11".
His arm muscle is big as Woods' body.
Brian Dawkins put on 15 pounds of muscle over the time.
Brian Dawkins came in mean.
And all that Beijing dye that brother been using now.
He bald. He ate his hair out.
Hey, he still arches his eyebrows, man.
Hey, y'all wicked, man.
I said, look at this brother, man. Die, Eagles die.
And that head is a weird shaped head. He got a weird shaped head.
He got that, you know that eraser you used to use back in the day, that little pink eraser with the little slope? Brian Dawkins, ESPN News. And then you put that little S curl just for me, kid, in there.
And it had the little hairs up top because it was going bald. I'm like, come on, man.
Oh, buddy.
Hey, fellas, let me ask y'all something. Since I'm just crunching numbers and writing names right here, right? Mm-hmm. Can we assume that somewhere in the top 10 picks, let's just put our thinking caps on that, it'll probably be 5 quarterbacks: Barkley, Nelson, Chubb, Ward, and Tremaine Edmonds, right? Can we just assume that that's what we're gonna get?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nobody argue with that.
So,
all right, so let me but watch this though, Voch.
Okay.
Who's that one? So because early on draft talk, it was Minka, maybe to Denver, Minka to Cleveland with the 4th pick. But now good players are getting pushed.
Right.
When teams come in, when teams jump in, so who's gonna be that? Who's gonna drop to you? To y'all? This for everybody.
It's the point. That's what I'm doing right now. Right.
Okay, go ahead. Go with it.
Got it, Voch. My bad.
So no. So what I'm saying is, once those players are gone, because we can pretty much say that they're going to be there, we looking at Miami around 11, because you said Tampa Bay, they're on the board at like 6 or 7, something like that. They may lean for like Nelson or Chubb or Ward or Edmonds, because one of those guys going to be there for them.
I think they go out for Chubb.
They could go there. I don't think they would go safety if they could get one of those.
Might take your boy Landry though. You never know.
That's too high.
They bet not to. It's not too high.
I think Landry's like around that 15. You don't think, Voch?
Harold Landry is a man. 10,
I know he's a baller. I'm just saying, I think he'd be in that range, that 10 to 15.
Right around there, Harold Landry. Yes, sir.
But didn't you just say 11? Around 11?
10, 11, 12, 13.
That's where
right?
I think he's going in that same, like in that DeMarcus Ware type spot in there.
So we can assume that Buffalo is going to take their 12th pick and try to move up to get a quarterback. So the Giants going to be at 12. You think the Giants will get an offensive lineman right around 12 or so? Hopefully.
You think they'll get that? Well,
it just depends.
Who's the top person besides Nelson though that would go that high? You think they wouldn't go for Hernandez?
Gillespie, don't sleep on him. Whatever that kid, man.
Let me just tell y'all something. Put y'all up on some game real fast. Y'all just listen to Voch Lombardi. Y'all can save this file if you want to. Those guards are gonna fly off the board. It's gonna be 5 first-round offensive linemen, I think, and they just gonna be overdrafted. So all that, can I get Hernandez in the 40s and 50s? Win in the 40s and 50s? Is not going to exist. Those guys are top tier, and it's a shortage of good offensive linemen in the league. They're going to go way higher than you expect, and that's going to keep bumping guys up.
Yeah, I don't argue with you there. I just don't.
Well, because let's look at team needs.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland, at some points, got to get an offensive tackle. They got to replace Joe Thomas. Seattle, you could pick any position on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Cincinnati is somebody to watch offensive line. So I definitely agree there, Voch.
They're going to be overdrafted for sure.
Yeah, quarterback. Here's what's going to happen, I think. Just studying the land of this draft and the feel of this draft, I think corner is going to fall. Like, good. You're going to see Josh Jackson.
A lot of good corners.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hearing that Josh Jackson could fall out of the first round. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
That's my favorite corner in this
What about the kid from Central Florida?
Yeah, Mike Hughes. Mike Hughes
fall. Alexander gonna fall.
Josh Jackson.
Well, okay. Let me ask y'all this: if we had one of those corners around, would you jump at them?
No.
And then maybe you do what AKOYE's talking about and move. Would you? All right. So AKOYE, maybe you get your corner, another just a lockdown guy. If Jair Alexander's there when you pick in a second, there's no way I wouldn't take him.
Right.
Like,
I think after the first round, the only thing I argue is first round. Right?
Okay, not in the first round.
Take the best player available. I don't care what his position is. Take it. So if it's a corner, you can never have too many corners, man. I think we had this conversation last week. So you'll never hear me say, I like our players so much we don't bring in other players that are better. It's just about taking a risk by eliminating one of our picks to jump up for a player that, let's just say, like we were just talking about with Derwin James. Derwin James may be an A+ player. I'm not going to say he's not. But let's say Heath is a C+, right?
Joe say he's not.
Joe say he's not. He is, right? He's a C+ player, B- on a good day. Do I get rid of a guy who I know can put us in the top 15, top 20, or not top 20, top 15, top 10 in defense, which we were this year anyway. Right. We already know we got that on our team, right? Do I get rid of that? Do I get rid of that just to say, hey, let's take a shot on a Derwin James? That's why I say no. Not saying that he's not. If he's the best player available at 19, hell yeah, take his ass.
Derwin ain't gonna be there at 19, man.
If he's there, he's not gonna be there.
I think we're gonna have to trade up to Green Bay at 14.
We keep our picks as is, and like you said, Voch, I think if we're gonna do any moving around, it's not gonna be at that 19th pick because we have to give up too much to jump into the top 10, and then jumping into the top 10. You only do that if you have a hole. You have a quarterback you need to get in the top 10 to get one before somebody else gets it. Wide receiver, specialty positions, and you want to jump up and get a franchise player before somebody takes him. That's what you jump forward for. In the second, third, fourth round, you jump forward to get players that other people, may not be high on, but that's high on your board. The best players available on your board. So I do see us moving. I just don't see us moving at that 19th pick. I see us moving in the second, third, or fourth round. We'll be moving forward.
Hey, Voch. Now I know you don't do comps, but just help me out. Who is Derwin James comp, Dan?
I got one.
I really don't do comps, man. But go ahead, Foots.
Okay, don't jump at me, guys. But I do, and I know Skins fans hate this. I see a lot of Sean Taylor, and I tell you why. Because
hold on, I'm gonna stop right there. So if we know that that's Sean Taylor, and we're at the 19th pick, and he's at 11 or 10, wouldn't you trade up the farm to get Sean Taylor on this defense with a Chris Richards?
The thing is, so I've been doing a deep dive, and Joe can vouch. This isn't something new for me. So I don't know if you guys are hip to the channel. It's not. He was one of my first scouting reports, and so my thing is like He got hurt last year. He got hurt last year. 2 years ago, he was, and Voch knows, 2 years ago, you might have took him in the first 3 picks. That's how good he was. Took a little bit of a step back, but to me, it's just things that you can't coach. And so if I need an alpha dog, if you watch him, how he's around his teammates, he just demands that respect. He just demands that. He just got that dog with him. That to me, listen, if he gets past Tampa, Chicago will take him. If they don't, they're crazy. So, and like James was saying, we need a box guy, but we also need a guy who he doesn't necessarily have to come off the field to where he can go out and he can guard Ernst. He can move well enough to guard
Foots, they killing you in the chat box, man. You got to come with some more thunder, man.
Comparing
him to Sean Taylor. They killing you, man. Bring it, man. Tell them why, man. Tell them why. Man. You got to do the film session. You got to do a film session, man.
Side by side, Foots.
Don't forget what I said about Cowboys fans. You ain't got to explain nothing.
All
right, Foots, you man.
But I think it was either the pick game. They in the ACC. Yeah. I'm watching this guy come down and guard in the slot and not look lost. Like, find me strong safeties who can do that.
Hold on. Before we go a little bit further, Anderson Boyce. Man, you got to take a timeout. He said Sean Taylor was overrated, man. I got to go get me a drink, man.
Let me help you.
Listen, I'm going to give you the comp that you could have used, but, and I'm being honest with you, Cowboys fans might not agree because of who he is, but you were close. I don't think he's a Sean Taylor comparison. He reminds me of Darren Woodson, man. Woodson.
I'll take that.
He's like Woody. He's not nasty as a Sean Taylor, but he has that type of dog in him. You're right.
I think he's nasty like Sean Taylor. He just don't have the range as far as
he
don't have the range. Sean Taylor could take that ball out the sky and take it to the ground. That's what Sean does.
And he's not even like Sean Taylor.
Also, just as a hitter. Just as a hitter, Sean Taylor was vicious. Derwin ain't a vicious hitter. He's a good tackler. He's a relentless chaser, but he ain't vicious.
He's like Woody.
Right.
He'll hit you, but that's not his MO.
I don't know, dog. I can show y'all a cut up of Derwin destroying Bammers,
I think Derwin will hit you.
I'm just saying. Sean Taylor will hit anything and anything.
No, he's not. When I say comp,
like spit in your face.
And that's why I hate comp. This is why I hate comp.
I agree with you.
When I say comp, I'm just saying a guy.
I agree with you, Foots. What you
comes
talking
up in the box and he doesn't give up much. He's 6'3", a true 6'3", not some made up 6'3".
I don't like when we always get caught up in phenotype, man.
That's big though. You need that size. You need that size. You need that size.
Guys, though, he's playing to his
if you 6'3", you need that, and he plays to it.
How many times did we see Scandrick get mossed? You like Scandrick? You there, but you just getting bullied. You're not gonna see this guy get.
You need a big, strong safety.
That has got something to do with him being Scandrick.
No, you gotta have a big, strong safety nowadays. You got to. I mean that changed the game.
I agree, but I don't.
The same.
I don't look at a player and say I wouldn't say, hey, he's 6'3". You know what I'm saying? Now,
I know, but when you talk about measurables and they go with the player, if you're saying the measurables that they look at,
that's my because look,
6'3" and moving how he move, I get what you're saying with that, but I don't care that he's 6'3". But the fact that he plays the way he plays at 6'3" is something.
And you know what? Listen, I like what you're saying about Ronnie Harrison. He was one of my first breakdowns.
That's my safety right there.
I like what you're saying about, but here's the thing. We got to think about this, though. Now, let me ask you this, AKOYE.
Go ahead.
Think about the team in the first rounders that Ronnie Harrison had around him. So it's one of those things. It's like
overdrafted.
Foots getting it back in her.
AKOYE, he got Minka with him. He got Deron Payne with him.
I'm gonna shut that down before you finish it.
Go ahead.
Is he coming in now? If you say if you're a team like
Sean Hand.
Tampa Bay, who's in need of a secondary, and you say, hey, this guy had a team around him, so maybe he's not what we think he's going to be because you're asking too much of him, then you would make sense. But coming into our fold, we're not asking him to be a godsend. We're asking him to come in and fill a certain role. And Marinelli likes to rotate players anyway. So if he has a player that has a certain niche, a la Kevin Frazier, we'll put him in position to do what he does best anyway. So Ronnie doesn't have to come in and be, an eraser. He doesn't have to be Earl Thomas. He doesn't have to be Ronnie in our defense. Now, you're right when it comes to other schemes or teams that need a guy that can do it all. He might not be. We don't know. The jury's still out because of the type of talent that he has around him. But one thing that having talent in the room, just like this live stream right here, one thing about having talent in the room, one thing that it does, it helps you understand what is good and what isn't good football. He can recognize that because he's been on a team with guys that can do it.
Let me say this. We just got Chris Richard, man, and we always talk about what we want our defense to be. We just got 5 DBs last year, 4 DBs last year.
Right.
If you add Derwin James to that group of young defensive backs and let Chris Richard just guide them, we could be amazing. We could be the most prolific young defensive back.
If we were in the top 10, no Voch, I wouldn't. There's no argument with Derwin James. Like, I'm not against the guy. I think he's everything we all think he is.
But let's go here though with it.
Talk about it.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this though.
If we get Derwin James, I'm gonna be just as happy.
I just feel like we're right on the. I feel like the reason why everybody's looking at the Derwin James situation is because I feel like our defense is right on the cusp. Especially our secondary is right on the cusp.
Because we nasty with no talent.
We got Jordan. Those guys are nasty. And just like Voch said, if you got Richard that can come in there with that enthusiasm, with those young guys, that young and hungry. That's what we need. We need young and hungry guys that.
But what about? Go ahead.
What Voch was saying. Listen, just like what Voch is saying.
I agree with y'all, brothers. But what I'm asking you is this. Let's just say this. Because to me, I think it's a waste of time to talk about Derwin James. I don't think we're going to get him. Now.
And we could, though.
Hold on. You need a dog. We need an alpha male, right? Who other than Derwin James that we might get at 19 would be a suitable replacement to you, to any of you?
As safety?
I don't think we get him.
As a dog?
Yes. Safety or anybody.
Willie Earl Hernandez is a dog, but I mean,
we ain't talking about all. I know you.
Ronnie Harrison. What about these guys?
I love Tremaine Edmonds. Tremaine Edmonds always. I think he's gonna be nasty.
Voch, I want you to take a look at these guys. What about? Okay, that's a lofty dream for us to get Durbin, right?
Yeah,
so what about Armani Watts? What about a Jason Bates?
Fourth round.
What about a Deshaun? All these guys are just not even in the same room.
But I'm saying, we need a difference maker. We don't need them guys that we always getting in the 4th and 5th rounds that are just good players. We need one guy that can come in and say, "This is my squad."
AKOYE,
who's the last?
Why does it have to be a first round for that to be true?
Would you give up a 4th rounder to move like to 14 to go get Derwin James?
Yeah, I would do that.
That's all we ask.
I wouldn't give up a 3rd rounder for him though.
That's all we ask.
I would do the reason I wouldn't give up a 3rd rounder. This you're gonna have 1st round talent, especially at D tackle. You're gonna have 1st round talent in the 3rd round. Why would I give up a 3rd rounder to jump for one player? I wouldn't do it.
We got
it's D tackle. We're going to have D tackles in the 3rd round that still got 1st round talent.
Got 10 picks, man. Got 10 picks. We don't need
Dallas overvalues them picks anyway sometimes. They value them picks like freaking gold. They can be all right and give up something.
2012. We had about 12 picks and we used every last one of them, didn't we?
Yeah, man, we do it every time.
And cut 6 of them. Shit. Look, man. I was doing mock drafts the other day, man. Joey Ivy played for the damn. Who the hell Joey Ivy? Look, he was playing for somebody for the Seahawks or something.
Are you serious?
I was like, when the hell we cut Joey Ivy?
And wasn't that who Ron Marinelli was flexing when he got him?
He was jumping on the table for Joey Ivy. Man, he ain't play with us no more.
And listen, so when you talking about this draft, it's just the positions that are gonna fall to you. So and it's the run. We just got to be prepared. Cowboys fans, that's all I'm saying, Voch. Everybody on this panel, we got to be prepared for a run on O-linemen, like Voch said, because they're going. So what positions are weaker towards are weak in the third, fourth round? Linebacker, inside linebacker. So it's more or less like, all right, let me pose this question. What position group to you all is gonna the talent drops off? What position group does the talent stay solid? For those of you who have been studying,
you say drops off or
all the way, or stay steady all the way through the whole draft.
So all right.
You talking draft or you talking about our depth?
Draft. I'm talking draft. So will you be able to get a good linebacker in a second? To me, no. Like the drop off between Rashaan Evans and Josie Jewell is huge. But the drop off between, maybe to AKOYE's point, the drop off between Jesse Bates and Derwin James is big, but it's not as big as that Rashaan Evans and Josie Jewell. So what position group should we attack early?
I'm not even addressing it based off of position groups. I'm basing it off of this team, right?
That's what
we know that our secondary, regardless of what you think of Heath, Frazier, Woods, whatever you think of them, we went heavy in secondary last year, and we know that our secondary is formidable. They're good enough right now.
Let's keep going.
Hold on. I agree with you.
I don't like good enough. I can't do good enough no more.
Right now, that is weakest. Think about it. You have Lee, who's good for at least 4 or 5 games out. And you got Jalen Smith, who's still coming back from an injury. We technically don't have a 16-game linebacker guaranteed on our team right now. That is a dog. If we don't go jump out at linebacker, it makes 0 sense. I think in the first 2 picks, you could make sense of taking 2 linebackers. In my opinion,
I don't think so, man. I think you can plug guys in the linebacker and be fine.
Navarro Bowman.
I think you can. No, he's 40.
Now, if we did that, Navarro Bowman, I thought we were going to pick up. I thought we was going to pick him up as like insurance, but we didn't pick him up. Now, if we did that, I would say that makes sense. Then we don't have to touch a linebacker right now. But we need a staple at linebacker, or it doesn't make sense. I don't see us.
I mean, they brought in Darius Leonard though. They brought him in.
I would rather have Darius Leonard than
he might be going by the 3rd round, or he's a 3rd round projection though.
I don't know. I think he's. I mean, we'll see.
Be going by that, man.
He might be 3rd or 4th. That's what they're projecting.
Like
what about Fred Warner? I like him. BYU. They got plenty of linebackers. That's out
I haven't watched him, so
Fred Warner's nice.
I like Warner.
BYU. Yeah, that's the BYU kid.
There are plenty linebackers that can play this year. However, after Hernandez, Wynn, and James Daniels, all the rest of the guards are trash. I don't care what you Braden Smith don't do it for me. The kid from what's his face University don't do it for me.
Who you talking about, Kappa?
Kappa don't do it for me, man. Kappa's solid, but he don't do it for me. Especially the tackles. The tackles don't do it for me.
The tackles are terrible this year.
But that goes right back to it though, Voch. Check it.
That's why we get
They went out and signed Marcus Martin,
but depth.
And Fleming.
But he's not a starter though. You don't want Marcus Martin starting for you.
You don't.
No.
Marcus Martin starting.
No. Listen, the reason they went out and got those 2 guys, Cam Fleming and Marcus Martin, is because they're looking for a guy who can either play right tackle and move Leal, which Leal doesn't want to do.
Leal ain't gonna move though. He's staying at right tackle.
I wouldn't move.
Left guard. They looking for. They went out and got a left guard and a tackle because that have starting ability. Not saying that they can, but again, I don't see us having because of that. I don't. And Jerry Jones said this out of his own mouth. He said we entered the draft being able to pick the best player available. That's why they make these signings. But the only thing that he didn't sign, and he likes Joe Thomas, but the only thing he didn't sign that was a surefire.
The safety
is linebacker. That's what we.
Did we sign a safety this year?
No, we didn't. Yeah, you do.
Not at a free agency, we don't. At the prices that a free safety would have cost us.
Oh yeah, we didn't need. Well, none of those guys that we went after that are out there were no different. Yeah, no, I'm saying I didn't want any of those guys because ain't none of those guys no difference makers to me.
It's about money. He don't cost us no money, but he can play.
Because it ain't no good safety.
Ain't none of those guys difference makers that's out there though.
Because there are no
situation.
There are no real good. Like it's not a lot.
Hold on. Let me defend the great white hope. right.
No, I'm not even gonna listen to this. I'm taking
that none of these guys are difference makers. Literally kept us in playoff contention this year.
One game?
I agree.
The Raiders game, and he picked off the old boy from the Chiefs game. He won that Chiefs game.
Chiefs game, he won. Giants game, he ended. It wasn't really going anywhere. It was already over. But he ended it. And then in the Raiders game,
so Heath is an NFL starter.
James, wait a minute. Wait. AKOYE, so you saying just because Heath is productive, he should be on the team next year?
What?
Wasn't Jalen Smith second in tackles? You trying to replace him? What are you doing?
Nobody trying to replace Jalen Smith.
You want a linebacker, don't you? You want to fill somebody in? We got linebackers.
No, I'm talking about we need 3 linebackers, not 2.
We've been running nickels all last year.
I like Jalen.
We've been running corners.
What's wrong with Jalen? You that's not me saying that.
Okay, well, I apologize. I was ready to scream at you. My bad.
Would I say Jalen and Lee are guaranteed to start 16 games? I wouldn't say that. We need depth, man.
So you want to draft for Sam at 19?
Van Der Esch.
Stop it, Law.
Hey, keep on missing that. If they draft him, hey, wouldn't that be 6 Boise State players they have drafted?
I'll be sick.
Man, I'm gonna be sick to my stomach. But the way they talking Van Der Esch. They don't like him. They don't like him. They love him. They love him.
He canceled a visit.
Hey, no, that's okay. But love him at 50 though. Don't love him at 19.
No, he won't be there. Visit, so
you don't draft a 2-down linebacker at 19. That's dumb. He can only play first.
Love Boise State.
Everybody saying they forget about. Everybody saying that they forget about Wilson at Sam.
Wilson.
No. The linebacker Wilson.
I like Wilson.
The road rage, pulling out the gun. The guy from pulling out the gun. You know,
the C guy. You're not gonna pay Wilson though. That's what that's about. So
yeah,
he ain't doesn't deserve no pay.
Damian Wilson.
Right. He ain't made no plays.
None.
Yeah.
How many games did you see him with 2 tackles?
The thing about our defense.
He's play out the nickel though.
This
don't matter. Kyle Wilber was playing more over him. That's terrible.
I hate
How the hell is that happening?
Leave Kyle Wilber alone.
How the hell is that happening?
I think
Kyle Wilber look like James Hanna and Dak Prescott.
With a receipt, the headline.
And Sinbad.
Yo, who was the player that came out this weekend and was just like, man, Dallas was all right. I was listening to a Jordan Lewis interview.
When he kept on saying,
Ben is
yeah, and he said, it was a guy they was playing against. It was a team they was playing against, and he was just like,
Sanders.
Good job. Law hit it, and he was like, man, it was just soft. He basically was like, it was no playmakers on Dallas defense. It was like they would just tackle you. They were just quiet.
That's about Emmanuel Sanders.
You just like, damn, like that's what teams think about us. That's
but you know what's funny though?
Derwin James make noise.
He had a pregame interview, and they was asking him, so what do you think about the Cowboys secondary? And he was calling us dogs. He was calling us rabid dogs. And then he goes at the game, we soft.
Hey,
we proved them wrong. Shit, we went.
Hold up. Every time he hits something, it's in the body bag.
No, he do. Nah, he
gonna lay the wood if he don't take the wrong angle. He a white JJ Wilcox.
Man, ask Travis Spencer after that Chargers game if he can hit. And if he take bad angles, he for hurt you, man. Now in coverage, do we take bad angles in coverage? Yeah, he can't cover worth a lick.
Take bad angles in tackling.
He could play deep zone.
He's a decent free safety.
Give me Derwin James.
Guys, we got about like 5 minutes left on the show, man. Y'all.
He earned the right to start this year, man.
I want to playmaker on our defense, y'all. I want to playmaker on our defense. I just want a playmaker, y'all.
Harold Landry.
Like we got a playmaker. I want to build around Ezekiel Elliott, and I want to playmaker on defense. If it's Vita, if it's Derwin, I would be so happy. I just want a guy who you say, damn, I don't want to go. I don't want to go across the middle. Yeah, like I just want a dog. Like I'm tired of these
dogs.
Like we know at some point during the game, as everybody been
somebody gonna knock them out, and it's gonna be like, yeah.
Everybody been in their living room watching the game, like, oh shoot, Sean Lee Why he on the sideline? Why he out the game? Like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
If Sean Lee had Jason Witten health, man, I'm telling you, they'll make a statue for him. He'll be a living legend.
But even Sean Lee, as much as I love him, he just nice. I want somebody to come in there, and we need somebody on our defense. Like, we need somebody to lay the wood that when you come across here, I'm going to smack you. And just like Bob said,
his name is Kayvon Frazier.
No, what? Stop it.
You got too much faith in these guys, man. Jeff Heath.
Nobody else is signing these guys. Nobody else will sign these guys. These guys aren't going to be starting nowhere else.
Ask J.J. Wilcox if he got signed.
And Reeves got cut 2 teams. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed him. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed him. They cut him. The Pittsburgh Steelers got him. They cut him. Basically,
you said sign. You didn't say cut. I said sign.
No good. In the same year.
The Barry Church
trash.
Is Skandrick working? Yes, he is.
And he's with the Redskins, bums.
Now listen, he only got to play for our scheme, and that's what he can do. Listen, Kayvon Frazier, to me, is an enforcer that you put 10 to 15 yards off the ball. Nobody wants to run in there.
We're going to get burnt.
I don't care what you're saying. Watch his film. Watch it. Kayvon Frazier will knock your head clean off.
I know he can knock your head off. I see what he did to Rico. I see what he can do.
Okay.
But I'm saying,
we're gonna run down the final thoughts. Everybody gonna give their opinions on the final thought. I'm gonna start off first. Joe, you gonna go last, okay? Foots, man, give me your final thoughts on this Cowboys, man.
Hey,
on the draft and everything, and plug your channel too.
Okay, Cowboys Nation TV. First and foremost, man, y'all keep putting out great content. I watch everybody. I was just telling somebody at work today that I don't even watch regular TV if it's not Law, AKOYE. I subscribe to you. I don't subscribe to many people, so I subscribe to you, the Voch. I've been a fan of yours before I even met you. Law, of course, you one of the OGs, and James, appreciate what you do. So again, man, I like having these round tables, good discussion. And as far as the draft, I'm gonna be there. I just pray and I ask that I want the Cowboys. I'm gonna be screaming, going crazy, but I just want the Cowboys to do their due diligence, and y'all gonna hear me say this a lot. Marry the player to the scheme. So don't draft a guy who's, a 3-4 player or all of these things. Marry whoever it is. If it's Calvin Ridley, marry him to our scheme. Put him in position, whatever it is. So that's my thoughts, man. Law, I appreciate you having me on, bro.
Man, appreciate you too as well. Hey, AKOYE, man. Tell them everything. Your final thoughts, man. Break it down.
Appreciate all y'all watching, man. You can find me at AKOYE Media on YouTube. Sorry.
What's that acronym, bro?
That's accumulated knowledge over years of experience.
Damn.
Killing them.
Damn.
Me and a friend of mine came over in high school, man, and it's just like it keeps sticking. I keep coming back up, so I wound up using it when I was looking for a name.
Bro, that should be in Wikipedia. I should wiki that. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, if I get famous enough, you never know. It might be. But honestly, man, when it comes to the draft, I'm not a guy that's I don't really want to take a risk in the first round. That's all I was saying. But with all the things I've said, what I really do think is that us at 19, we're in a good position to grab an impact player. But I don't think we should move forward unless there's somebody that's tantalizing enough for us to do so, and then close enough where we're not giving away our leverage. And our leverage is not in the first round. Our leverage is in the second, in the third round. We have good depth there, and the fourth round. In those next rounds, we actually have an opportunity to change our team. I believe in Will McKay. I believe in Jerry Jones and the way they draft, because we built this team through the draft. So I don't think there's an issue outside of that 19th pick as far as I'm concerned. I really don't care who they go with as long as it's defense and it's a playmaker. I like Evan. I don't like Ash. I like Ash in the second round. I don't like him in the first round because he's a limited player. I'm not saying he's going to be a bum in this league, but he reminds me of the big guy from Pittsburgh, that big slow dude, number 99 back in the day. What was his name?
Kevin Green.
No, he was a middle linebacker.
Greg Lloyd.
Kiesel.
No, he was almost 300 pounds. He played with those dudes. Number 99. What's
Keeman Van Ogen or something like that?
no, he black dude, man.
I was born in 92.
Kirkland.
Levon Kirkland. Oh my
Remind
God.
me of Levon Kirkland, the straight line runner, or Jeremiah Trotter. Both those guys. They can stop the run. They'll eat a block up, but they can't play shit in space. They shit in coverage. I don't want them as a first rounder because of that. Like the same thing with Londo, except for Londo can cover a little bit. That's why I like Londo. Londo, if you try to pick on him, Londo will get a tip up pick off on you if you try to pick on him.
You talking about Roe McClain?
Yeah, you couldn't pick on Rolando McClain. But they got the same body type, but they don't got the same skill set. So I would say if he's a first and second down backer, you take him in the second round, man, second, third round, but you don't take him at the 19th pick. At the 19th pick, I like Raekwon Smith, I like Rashawn Evans, and if any of those players that we mentioned fall anywhere in the teams, Derwin James, if he's in the teams, of course you go get him if he's in the teams, but I don't think that's a reality. So to move forward for anything else, I don't agree with. Even if we went O-line, I think the offensive line pick kind of makes it so that we don't have to make a decision, and I wouldn't be mad at that if we really did go out and get Hernandez. That's a safe play. That's hitting a bunt. That's a bunt play right there. Like we go out and get him. You can't miss
bunt. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Randy Gregory, man.
Yeah, nobody's mad at that pick. You know, nobody's mad at that. So overall, I think you either go linebacker or you go offensive line with, like Voch said, man, and leave it alone. You don't go wide receiver. You don't make any waves unless it's there, low hanging fruit for you. But anything after that, take the best player available. And I got enough faith in our team and our GM, whoever the real GM really is, who knows. But I got enough faith in that we will go out and pick the best player available, because I actually like a lot of the guys that we've nurtured in this scheme. So.
So, hey, Big Game James, man, tell them about yourself, man. Tell them where they can find you, and tell them what's going to happen tomorrow and all that good stuff too as well.
Well, you can check us out tomorrow. We'll be Dallas Prospect. You will be out there doing our thing on our live channel. You can check me out on Facebook, Big Game James page, Silver and Blue Nation. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We got Twitter. You can also check us. We got SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. If you want to actually check out the shows, you can just type in Silver and Blue Nation. You can check out those shows as well. And I just want to tell everybody that I'm grateful for you, Law, for inviting me. I have been watching you guys since I got into the media field, and I've been respecting all your guys' work. And I just deeply grateful for being on the panel, and hopefully we'll have more of this, and I'll be a part of that. So I much salute to all y'all. And as far as the pick, I'm just done with all the foolishness. I want dogs. I want a dog. I want an animal. I'm tired of the foolishness. I'm tired of us playing safe, and I'm tired of these weak teams that are not better than us. We are just as talented as any team to take to the Super Bowl this year. Even with what we had, we still could have did something. And I'm tired of us beating below expectations. Get an animal. If you see the guy, go out there and get him. If it's a Derwin James, go out there and get him so he can change the defense so that people start respecting who we are, because I'm fed up with the mess. And that's just how I feel about it.
Man, that's hot sauce right there, man. Home Skillet, my brother, man. I call him the people's champ. I'm talking about my guy, Voch Lombardi, man. Tell them about yourself, man. Tell them where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Voch Lombardi, representing Voch Records, OG Heartthrob, John Wick, and all that. Shouts out to my new wife, Demetria Obelar. She does traffic for Channel 8 in Dallas. Listen, man. We have the most productive, non-talented defense in the National Football League, man. Like I keep saying, all our first round picks of the past decade or so are in offense. All the first round picks on defense is Byron and Taco. Taco ain't even start last year. So just the thought of, hey, can y'all imagine what Rod Marinelli can do with some super talent? It makes me do this. It makes me rub my hands together like Birdman. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest fan of, moving around, because it's been working, staying where we at and drafting wherever we at. But if we got to move up to make some shake to go get somebody nasty, I'm all about it. You know what I mean? I'm pro Willie Earl Hernandez, because I like offensive line, former player, former coach. I love dominance there. Ezekiel Elliott going to be nasty, but if we go Derwin, if we go Harold, I'll be just as fine with that. Second, third, fourth round, hey, man, I got a lot of confidence in what we can do. We not a bad team. We just had a bad year. So just take whatever we got plus the incoming talent and we'll be fine. But as far as my channel, Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. I break down film in case y'all didn't know, but I don't do it in a peanut gallery type of way. I put it on the screen so you can see it. You can fact check me. When you in school and you in math class, you got to show the work to get credit for it. I show work, unlike the peanut gallery. You know what I mean? So I actually dropped a Derwin James film session today. I wish I had all 22, but I did the best I could with the broadcast. Y'all can go check that out. Follow me on Twitter, Voch Lombardi. Same thing, VOCHLOMBARDI. I'll be in Dallas for the draft, saluting with all y'all fellas. So see y'all there.
I'll be watching that tonight, man. I'll be definitely watching that tonight. Last but not least, man, I'm talking about my brother from another mother too as well. Joe knows what he's talking about. My guy Joe. Talk to him, man. Talk to him. Tell him where they can find you at, Joe.
Man. Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, obviously. Just Cowboys Blog, and Twitter, Instagram, Cowboys Blog Net. And man, I'm just ready for the draft to get going, man. With all these scenarios, kind of, we're kind of beating a dead horse here. It's just, time to get it done, time to get these guys going, and hopefully we get the right guys, man. Because I think this is do or die for this staff, for this team, man. If they don't hit on these picks, we're in trouble, man. There's gonna be a lot of revamping, and I don't want to start over, but we got to avoid that. We got to avoid it with hitting on these picks, man.
Yes, indeed, man. That's what I'm talking about. God, it was a pleasure all together, everybody chiming in. My dream thing would be if that we just move up, get Derwin James, and we not picking again until, Saturday? Because what will happen here is we'll move up, we'll lose our second round, and then deadlines make deals. With the third round pick, we make some type of deal and get Earl Thomas. And I'm telling you, Derwin James and Earl Thomas, we can just go ahead and go get that Lombardi trophy. You know what I mean? Y'all got what I'm feeling.
Jason Garrett do it.
Jason Garrett, I don't know, man, but it's going to be one of those things. But that's all our time. I really thank you guys for yours. And remember, you're listening to Nothing But the Bass. Salute. We're out. Peace.